So I think it's very difficult for you to live in a world where you do not infer something from how people might view you. I think that when my daughter was 5 years old, she once ran up on my lap and she stared me in the eyes and she looked right at my eyes and she said, "I see myself in your eyes." What she doesn't realize is how true that is, you know. So much of how we think about ourselves have to do with the reflection that stares back at us through somebody else's eyes. But surely that cannot be the only currency of the realm. Surely there must be some other place from which you derive a sense of your worth. And there's a really cool passage in the Bible where Jesus says, if you hold on to my teaching, then you are my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. You know, the truth will set you. So what is he talking about? You know, so the reality is that it is very difficult to fully escape this need to find your image in the eyes of somebody else. And so our lives are shaped by those who love us and who refuse to love us. But Jesus is saying that there's something really important, that if you actually really understood how much you are loved by a creator, a good God, that you would be free. There's this wonderful book called The Freedom of Self-Forgetfulness. It's actually by Timothy Keller, who's a pastor in New York. It just basically just talks about that theme, this notion that when a center of gravity is well defined in your life, then other things do not pull you off. You have a better way of being able to put them in their place. Like, you can't own something that you can't let go of. Let me say that. You can't own something you can't let go of. Because if you can't let go of it, then it owns you. Does that make sense? I don't know if you said it right, but yeah. So remember the Lord of the Rings and that ring and all that stuff. You know, that Hobbit. I think they picked the Hobbit because it's not very ambitious, and just one day he couldn't let go of the ring. Right? Then it no longer is something that he owns. It's something that owns him. And so it's very easy to have things like that happen in our lives. And then when that thing that is so important to you is lost or is even temporarily out of your sight, you feel like a total failure. It's just an event failure, but you attribute it as if your whole life ended. That shouldn't be. That's kind of not the right perspective. But it becomes a default perspective if you don't have a center of gravity.